Well, look, on this one, I know lots of you will disagree with me, but I do think on the balance of probability, it's more likely than not that Andy Burnham will call a snap early election. People are starting to wake up to this prospect. And if you look at what the government are doing, what Labour are doing, if you were preparing to call a snap election, they're basically doing everything that you would do in that scenario. And that's what I wrote about this morning over at Heather News, my Substack. I'll put a link to the article down below. Do go and read it. And I'll be running through in this video why I think many are now waking up to this prospect of an early election. And also at the end of this video, a recent speech I gave in my role as a councillor. But look, in terms of where we are, well, the autumn budget due to take place late October or November this year. And what have we seen from Andy Burnham? What we've seen is a massive spending blitz, all sorts of pledges of expensive policies, and very little detail on how any of this is going to be paid for. So is this a case of the government of Labour front-loading a load of announcements they hope will be popular to give them a poll boost and then call an election before they actually have to deliver a budget, which I'm sure will have a huge number of tax hikes, rises within it? But you can see here, just an example of what I'm talking about. A £340 million investment to end rough sleeping, £850 million plan to cut energy bills, the bus fares cap, £300 million a year. On top of that, being pledged a 20% cut to business rate bills for pubs, clubs and live music venues. So have Labour got a plan to pay for this, to fund this?
But again, just to clarify, you're confident you will be able to fund it, but you have not agreed how to fund it yet.
Well, this is day 4, and as Chief Secretary of the Treasury, obviously I'm well into the numbers. I'm not going to give you all the numbers today, but we will set out in more specific detail, as I said, those 2 major ways that we're going to fund this. This is £100 million from next April.
No, that's all fine. But then you can't say it is fully funded yet.
Well, as you say, it will be fully funded. We've got the 2 major ways in which we're going to do this. It's £100 million for the next financial year. This comes in addition to some of the relief that's already in place from April this year, so the 15% cut in business rates for pubs and clubs and live music venues.
But look, in the early part of your answer, you said it is fully funded. I get that you're now clarifying that to say it will be fully funded. But to say something will be fully funded is a slightly pointless statement. It's like saying at the point at which I come into the shop to buy the item, I'll have the money then, but you don't necessarily have it. So I'm just saying that there is a bit of a gap there in the rhetoric.
So yeah, this could all be front-loaded to then call an election before this government has to deliver a budget, and it will likely be a budget with absolutely massive tax rises in it. And others are picking up on this whole series of statements. If you notice, that business rate cut only due to come in next April, but also the bus fare cap 2027, VAT cut on electricity bills October to April. So you could see there the argument, this has all been front loaded to prepare for a general election. And politicians are being asked about this, journalists are talking about this. This was the Conservative leader, Kemi Badenoch, who so far seems somewhat reluctant to commit the Tories to an election no matter what. This is what Kemi Badenoch had to say today.
Chris Hope, GB News.
Yeah, Kemi Badenoch, a great plan there you're setting out for your party if you win power. Do you want an election now, or are you not ready for one?
Chris, I'm always ready for an election. I'm the leader of the opposition. We always want an election because we believe, I believe, Conservatives believe, that we have got a plan. We're the only ones talking any common sense. We're the only ones who've actually explained how we will make energy cheaper. No one else is doing that. Being ready for an election is just one part of it. You've got to be ready for government as well, not just ready to deliver leaflets. And we have a plan for both. We have a plan for an election. If Andy Burnham wants to call a snap election, we're ready. We have a plan for government. But I have said, that if he's breaking away from Labour's manifesto and not funding defence, then he should call an election. John Healey resigned from government because he said Labour wasn't protecting the country. If that doesn't change, I would be expecting John Healey to resign again. He is the Chancellor now, so he should find the money. Otherwise, there should be an immediate general election.
And on top of those other expensive policies, you've also got local government reorganisation, which is councils being basically merged. Has been very little public endorsement of this. Basically, local communities have been told that it's happening. And you can see there, the cost could be up to £1.5 billion, that it would be at least 718 million, but could go up to 1.5 billion. And various councils across the country very unhappy with this. This was me speaking recently as a Reform councillor on LGR, but do let me know as well what you make of the actions of this government. Do you think that we're heading for an early general election? And do let me know what you make of what I had to say here on local government reorganisation.
Mr. Mayor, local government reorganisation nationwide has been a complete dog's dinner. We've witnessed cancelled elections, the Labour government ignoring advice, and the public completely sidelined. The outcome could end up being unpopular changes being made that lack a direct mandate and that are financially catastrophic. Firstly, shouldn't the people of Southend and those across Essex have been asked whether they actually want LGR? The consultations I've seen only gave a choice of models and at no point gave the option of local government remaining as it is. That doesn't seem very democratic. The proposed model has minimal public support. A recent YouGov poll has found that 56% of residents across Essex oppose the plans, compared to just 24% who support the 5-council model. Here in Southend, we know the only party to oppose these plans, Reform UK, just won by a massive vote share across the city. Labour came fourth, but obviously this hasn't served as a wake-up call yet. As usual, the Tories are all over the place, speaking in favour of LGR today, though Essex Conservative MPs and Conservative councillors on Essex County Council both say their policy is a referendum to stop it. So which is it? Across Essex, we're seeing councils vowing to do what they can to stop this. Basildon Council have withdrawn support for a merger with Thurrock. Harlow Council have vowed to oppose their council being abolished. Thurrock Council has urged the government to rethink what it is doing. Reform-controlled Essex County Council has launched a judicial review against LGR, specifically when it comes to the proposed South East Essex Council. Councillors at Rochford Council have just voted to support that judicial review. It seems the Labour government are determined to ram this through for ideological reasons. They've ignored advice from senior government officials on the strongest financial option for councils in Essex. That was rejected by the Secretary of State. The advice noted that the government's preferred 5-council option risks creating councils that are at significant disadvantage on tax base, service demand and ability to deliver services. It was noted confidence was low in the numbers presented by the successful bid and that the payback period for the 5-council proposal was unclear, with figures disputed locally and officials were not able to verify the position. Officials from the Department for Education and the Department of Health both raised concerns about the 5 unitary authority proposal, and the Reform leader of Essex County Council, Peter Harris, has warned that to choose the worst financial option means effectively jeopardising the future of our services to our most vulnerable adults and children. This is an extremely serious situation. I would urge the Council to examine the evidence and think again. Sadly, I have no doubt at all that this administration will go on ignoring all of these warnings and refuse to give the people of Southend a direct say as to whether they actually want LGR or not. But rest assured, if you do intend to plough on with LGR in this form, Reform UK will hold you to account for implementing these radical changes that lack public support and that you've clearly been warned about. Thank you.